We're low on fuel. But I think if we just keep... Just give myself a second to not get sucked up by the sand vacuum. I was too early, chat. Nice landing. Almost like they're twins. Whoa! I never would have guessed this from their name, word to the wise. Yes, that was extremely snark. It was a very smooth landing. Ha! A book! Gravity is getting super stupid. I think it has to do with the lack of mass on this planet and the sudden presence of mass on another. And the fact that the sun's getting bigger. Yeah, the sun's gonna go supernova, like, pretty soon. So let's read this. Friends visiting the Hanging City. We are planning the Ash Twin project at the High Energy Lab in Ember Twin's equator. I became lost on Ember Twin, my gratitude that Rummy found me. But the High Energy Lab is the building in the large solar panels. I'm surprised I didn't see it. I imagine our otherwise immensely clever Conroy would lose his own head if it weren't anatomically impossible. Okay, so there's a high energy lab on Ember Twin. Which makes me think that maybe the next time what we do is we go to Ember Twin before it's covered in dirt. Also, this writing is so pretty. We are out of juice. Love the normal script. Yeah, wish our language could support branching conversations like that. That would be gorgeous. I mean, it could if you tried hard enough. Probably be all kinds of janky though. That's a broken door. We don't have any juice. There's a little oxygen to get us down here. Yeah, I think Ember Twin might be our destination after this. Yo, gang, welcome in. Thank you so much for the first time chat. How are you? If only there was some way to reply to specific parts of what someone previously said. Ow. Liquid developed technology to perform that kind of function. Surely we could never go back to linear conversation formats again. English, honestly, as a language, is going through a lot of metamorphosis right now. It's getting more and more mimetic. But what if you like lines? Well, then you're a nerd, word. Oh. Well, that's one way to reset. Dead cat. Perished. Died. Kabooey. One of thousands of references I make thousands of times a day. Alright, Ember Twin, here we come. And it sounded like there were sounds. Most will go Walkaboos dog chat. Be good, do not spoil the cat's playthrough, please and thank you. Yeah, please don't spoil my playthrough. I want us all to be able to have fun, happy, confusing time together. We're gonna land on a planet. We're gonna land on a planet. I'm gonna try anyway. I think we found the middle of the planet, chat. Uh-oh. The dirtification process has begun! Smell like sand? It's coarse and it's rough. It gets everywhere. I maintain that he was not a terrible actor for the script he had to work with. Coarse and rough, just the way you like it. Oh my goodness. How dare you assume how I like things? How dare you be kind of correct? Yeah, there's the Escape Pod 2 distress beacon. Let's see, what do we got in this ship? Needs status reports for all systems, but initial things first. Is everyone unharmed? Our escape pod's passengers are afraid, but physically well. Anona, everyone survived the crash. It's a relief, at least. You have my gratitude. Burr, were you able to find the other escape pod's distress signals? I can hear both signals somewhere in this star system, but I don't believe either escape pod crashed on the same planet as us. Alright, so we got another escape pod crash site. Let's go see this. We can read the ship's log. Escape pod 2. Vessel has been mortally injured. Emergency sequence activated, awaiting departure from vessel. Sheesh. Launching escape pod 3. Now launching escape pod 2. He did, yeah, considering direction and writing, he did okay. Collision imminent. Preparing for impact. Scanning external environment. Scan complete. External temperature is prohibitively high. Verdict, inhospitable. Do not seek shelter on planet surface. The heat from the star system's sun is more bearable below the surface. When our escape pod punctured this planet's surface, it broke into what scans show as a cave system with much cooler air. I would recommend we seek a site down here to build a long-term shelter in Anona, but the passages are a maze. Even with this danger, there's still our best chance for survival. We'll form teams and descend into the caves to look for a shelter site. We can mark our findings on the walls to avoid becoming irreversibly lost. Be cautious, everyone. And be aware of the sand as you search. It appears to be rising gradually. I may have been correct, chat. Emergency escape hatch. Keep moving, friends. There's nothing of interest at the end of this passage but rocks. And while these rocks are interesting, they can wait until a less urgent time. Do not follow this tunnel to its end. Polius and I will examine the horror that lies at its terminus later, provided we live through this. Horror? I'm totally going to the terminus of this one. Oh, that's spooky as hell. Oh, that's spooky as hell. Somebody died down there. Somebody died down there and they had a bad time doing it. We'll see. We'll see what else is happening around. This might be where those interesting rocks were. Yeah, interesting rocks, that's all. Someone died down there and you never noticed that before. They did. That does seem to be the case. We found an enormous cavern at the end of this passage that appears promising. I believe we could construct long-term shelter there. The cavern Milleray found is a wise choice for shelter. Could one of you mark directions for the others to follow? This is the start of the path of the shelter site. I've left directions to guide you there. Of note, we must hurry as the pathway there is filling with sand. Do not allow yourself to be buried by sand and make sure no one is lost. Oh. First time still seeing new things? Yeah! Ow. Well, shit. It happened again, chat. My controller just disconnected, or my keyboard just disconnected. I plugged it into the other USB port, and it's fine again. I think my computer might be powerful jankified. The path to the shelter site is somewhat convoluted, so follow the instructions ahead closely. Oopsie. Too far. Yeah, this is only 0.5 gravity. Nope, that never happens at an important, highly clippable moment. Really, though. To reach the shelter site, walk forward until you meet the sand fall of the pit, then turn left. Continue to the room filled with rock column formations and climb upward through the opening above them. Sand here is rising, so you must be cautious, but swift. Three minutes of oxygen remaining. I didn't follow those directions, did I? In fact, I did like the exact opposite of those directions, didn't I? Walk forward until you meet the sandfall of the pit, then turn left. Continue into the room filled with rock column formations and climb upward through the opening above them. Forward appears to be this way. Sandfall of the pit, turn left. Rock column formations, perhaps?